Hi. In this video, we will learn about data manipulation shortcuts in Excel.
Let's look at data manipulation shortcuts in Excel. So the basic shortcuts are Control-C for copy, Control-V for paste, and Control-X for cut. So just quickly look at those as well. So if you want to copy these, you can select them. Control-C to copy, and then to paste, Control-V. So let me come here and press Control-V. Again, if you want to cut or completely remove, it's Control-X, and then I can come and paste it here with Control-V. So it got completely removed from there. For paste special, we can use two shortcuts, Control-Alt-V or Alt-ES. So both work the same way. Let's say we want to copy these cells, Control-C, and if I want to paste values, I can come into this cell. I'll just use Alt-ES, and the paste special box opens, and here I will select values and say OK. So here only the values have been copied. So here there's a formula, but only the value has been copied over here. So let's check the formulas option. We'll again copy this, Control-C, come here, and Alt-ES to go into the paste special, and here I will go for the formulas option and say OK. So here these are values, but here the formula has been copied from here. So let's try the formulas and number formats. So here I will change the number format of this number to 2 decimal points, and I'll put 1000 separator here. And let me copy this, Control-C, and I will come here, Alt-ES, and formulas and number formats, and say OK. See, the number formats for these two have been copied here, and the formula has been copied as well. Then we have another useful function. So we have another useful feature in paste special where you can multiply values. So here we got some sales data, and let's say we want to apply a 5% growth rate into these sales values. Of course, we can write a formula to multiply this separately into, let's say, 1.05 like that, and copy it down. But without doing formulas, if you want to do it, you can type over here 1.05. So that is 1 plus the growth rate, 5%. And then what I can do is I can copy that, Control-C, and then I can select all the sales values over here. Go to Alt-ES, and here I will go for multiply. So these values will be multiplied by this 1.05. And I got the values updated. So these are the same values with a 5% growth rate. So even on this situation over here, we got a formula that adds branch 1 and branch 2 values, total sales. So this can also be increased by 10%. So here we want to apply a 10% growth rate. So let me type 1.1 here. That's for 1.10. 1 plus the growth rate of 10%. And then I will select this cell, Control-C, and then I select all the cells that I want to increase by 10%, and then Alt-ES and multiply and say OK. So here everything has been increased by 10%, and if you look at the figures, they don't have any change or formula because they are just numbers over here. But the formula is still intact. That is R32 plus S32, branch 1, branch 2 sales. But see, here we had the multiplication by 1.1 added. So the formula has also got updated. So the formula is still there, but it has been increased by the 10% growth rate. And there's another common situation we can use this. So generally, sometimes you have this sales growth or whatever the percentage given in number form. If we were to change this into percentage, you see, you don't get the right figures. So the right way to do this is, let me do a control reset undo, is to either divide all of these by 100 and then apply the formatting here percentage, or there's another way. You can type in 1% or 0.01 into a cell like this and Control C to copy that. Then I select everything that I want to change into percentage, Alt S, and here I will multiply. So all these values will be multiplied by 1%. And then straight away I got all converted to the proper percentage form without using formulas. So we also have shortcuts that we can use for command paste options like values. You can use Alt S and at the end you put a V. So that is because if you go to Alt S, if you go to the paste special, you see for formulas, this F is underlined. So that means after pressing Alt S, if you press F, it will go to formulas. So here Alt S and F is formulas. For values is Alt S and V. V is underlined. For formats, it's T. T is underlined there. Comments is C. Validation is N. And likewise, we have for multiply is N. And for transpose, it's E. So if you are frequently using this, it might be useful for you to learn these shortcuts as well. So let's see the paste special values option. I will select these two, Control C, come here and press Alt S and then V and enter. So it has pasted the values. So Excel, if you got Excel 365, for paste special values, you have a special shortcut, Control Shift and V. So that's only available on Excel 365. So if I come here, I do a Control C, and here I can press Control Shift and V. So that's a shorter method only available in Excel 365 for values. Control Shift V. If you want to do paste special formulas, it's Alt S and then F. So I can select this, Control C, come here, Alt S and then F and enter. And for formats, we got Alt S T. So let me copy this, Control C, come here, Alt S and then T and enter. So only the formats I got copied here. Then we got transpose as well. So if you copy like this, Control C, and I want to transpose here, Alt S and E, and enter. I got this transpose from vertical to horizontal. Then we have a autofill kind of a copyright shortcut. So if you want to copy anything to the right, you can go to that cell and press Ctrl and R. So for example, if I want to copy this value over here into this cell, I can press Ctrl and R. So that will copy that. So let me undo that. If you want, you can select the whole column like this. So it will copy all of these values on the right and then press Ctrl and R. So then it will copy all the values. So here this formatting has also got the side, but here because there's a formula, it has also got copied to the right like this. So Control R will copy anything else on your left to your right hand side. So then there's another way to copy as well. That is to copy paste down. Control D is the shortcut for that. So if I want to copy all of this down, I can just select the cells below and press Control D. So it will copy everything on top to the cell below. So Control D will copy down. And as an undo button, shortcut is, of course, you can come here and do undo from here. But the easy way is, let's say I made this bold and I want to undo that. Control Z will do undo. And let's say I want to redo. So there is the redo button as well. But let's say I applied fill color here. So I colored this cell yellow. And I want to do the same thing to some other cells. I can just select that and press the F4 key. So F4 key is a redo button. So whatever the last action that you did, maybe highlighting, changing it to bold, deleting, whatever, will continue to be redone as long as you keep on pressing F4. So let me undo this. Control Z, Control Z. Then if you want to open the insert dialog box to insert blank cells, let's say inside a set of data, I want to insert some blank cells. Then I can press Control and the plus sign. So if I press Control and plus, it will give this option and it will ask me what do I want, because there are cells that are surrounding with data. Do I want to shift cells to the right, shift cells down, entire row, entire column? So let's say I want to do an entire row and say OK. So it inserted the entire row along with this one cell. So let me undo that. And also, by the way, this Control plus will also insert a row or a column. So for example here, if I selected this column, and I want to add another column or insert a column, I can press Control plus. So that will add another column. So I can keep on doing that to add additional columns. Then I can do the same thing with rows as well. So let's say I selected this row and I want to insert another row. I can press Control plus. So it adds another row. So Control plus works two ways. If it's a row and a column you selected, it will insert additional rows and columns. If inside the data set, you can insert blank cells. And also we have the opposite, Control minus, which will delete a selected cell or set of cells. So here if I come here, I want to, let's say, delete this. I press Control minus. And it's asking me what to do with the other cells. So let's say entire column to delete. So it has deleted the entire column. So same way we have the Control minus option working for inserting. This should be actually deleting. So delete a row and a column. So if I want to delete this column, I can select that, press Control minus, it deletes that column. So same way, if I selected this row and I want to delete, I can press Control minus. The AutoSum shortcut is very useful when you want to insert the sum function. So AutoSum, if you come here on the home ribbon, it is here. You can see the AutoSum function is there. So here it gives you the shortcut as well. Sum shortcut is Alt and equal. So here if I want to add up all of these values, I can press Alt and equal here. So it will select the closest column of data here, and I can press enter. Also, if I do Alt equal from here, it will select the closest two columns, and then I can add that. So let me undo that. Also, at once, if I want to sum both of these columns, I can select both columns like this, both cells, and do Alt and equal. So at once it will add both of them together. And if I want to add everything to this side as well, I can select all of these cells and press Alt and equal. So it will add all of these values together. So the rows and the columns have been totaled. So here, each of these formulas have been applied. So there's another way to do auto sum in a situation like this. If you want to get the totals on this side as well as a column, you can select all of this data like this. So it will include the total column and the total row as well, and then Alt equal. See, at once your summation, sum formula has got applied in all the rows and the columns on the total side. Control F will basically help you to find information. So if I press here, Control F, so it's asking me find what? Let's say I type apple and say find all. So it has selected apple. So likewise, it can find basically any value that I give it. So it can basically find anything that I want with the Control F. So then there's another option, find and replace. So that is Control H. So if I press Control H, and let's say already since I have used find, that apple is there. So I want to replace apple with orange. We made one replacements. So the apple has become orange. So find and replace is useful that way. Then when you are doing flash fill, which is like this. So, flash fill helps you to auto fill data. So here we got first name and the last name. And if I want to have the full name on the other cell, I can type the first name like this, John Smith. And come down. And if I start typing the second name, the flash fill gets activated and I get a preview of what's going to be filled in. So if I press enter, everything gets properly filled down like this. But there's a shortcut we can use, that is Control E for flash fill. So I just type the first name here. And I go to the cell below and I press Control E. And automatically flash fill has got applied.
Thanks for watching.